welcome. Today I want to share with you some of my fifth graders' workload, and not just showing you the books, but also we're going to give you a little bit of what it looks like for our day. Welcome, my name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom of 4 boys, ages 10 to 20. I have a 5th grader and a 10th grader this school year. I have graduated too. And I thought it'd be fun just to share. I was hoping maybe to do a week worth of work, but it may just be a day or two videoing our days. We'll see how much we get done. By the end of this, it is Monday morning. My son usually starts off with the Bible. I will show you our core curriculum, which is where I get my scheduling from and what subjects we will work on. And we use Heart of Dakota, but we do not use their Bible and their language arts or their geography, their math. So mainly for history and science and some extras. He will be starting out with Bible. And usually what we do in the morning is trying to do the core subjects first, which is math, language arts, which includes our spelling, which is from IEW, and grammar. He sometimes will also do his geography then also, and then he will probably be outside today because it is a gorgeous day today. Being the beginning of February, we are excited to finally get dry weather, and it's a little bit warmer today. So definitely going to get some of that sunshine today. All right, I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to start just showing you some things of how our day is going. Okay, first thing, usually my son does his Bible reading. The reading plan is actually from Heart of Dakota, and it correlates with Creation to Christ. He doesn't do their Bible study, but they do have a box that has the reading schedule, and that is what he is following. Okay, this is the core of our curriculum from Heart of Dakota, and we are doing Creation to Christ. And we are actually starting on a Monday, but we are on Unit 22, Day 3, and then there'll be a Day 4, and then we'll start Unit 23. So there's 4 days a week. This side, you have mostly the history, and on this side, you have some of the core, but also includes some of the extra Bible study, poetry, science, language arts, and math. So he does the Bible quiet time, which he just finished up, and then he's actually going to start working on his scripture memory here, his verses, which is Philippians chapter 2, and that's what you work on throughout the year. And then we will start on math, and I'm just going to mention that to you, and I'll show you some clips, but we are using Epsilon from Matthew C. We have used this with all my boys. This is our 4th time going through it. So with that, I'm going to say I think our DVD is not working the best. So the last few lessons, I have just been teaching it to him. And in the teacher's book, it tells you the lessons. It gives you the notes of what to say and what to do. But keep in mind, this is my 4th time through, so I'm very familiar with it. I've seen it taught several times already. And he is actually going to be doing 11A today. But we're going to work on his verses. Then we're going to work on some of his core, which is math, language arts, spelling, and I'll share all that with you. And then we will do this side of the book. Just to let you know, we are not using their Bible study, and we have not been doing their poetry. We started out, but we just have to pick and choose what we're going to keep up with this school year. And that is the nice thing about this curriculum, is it's flexible. You don't have to do it all. I love the history part. That is definitely something I get this curriculum for, the books, the living books, and I like that it helps me keep schedule of everything. So he's going to finish up his verses, and then we'll start on math. Okay, he is finishing up his verses. As you can tell, he memorizes by singing, so that is how he is going over his verses. I am getting the math ready. Usually they just watch a video the first of the week, and then they have their papers. So I only will have to go over this one day, and then he will just have his worksheets, or he will do it on a whiteboard. Okay, now we are working on the math lesson, and really when he watches the video, this is what he would still be doing, and I would be sitting with him just to make sure he understands. So this is what we would do on a Monday, whether it be through the video or I sit down and teach the lesson.
Cool.
That's right.
Dub.
Yeah.
Love. Able.
Love. That's actually 3 syllables. Love. Able. Sometimes a vowel might be by itself.
Juggle. Jungle.
Yeah.
Jungle.
Well, N and G stays together. Because it makes the sound. All right. He just went over a new set of spelling words. Every syllable must have a vowel was his rule, so we broke them up in syllables, and now I am giving him the quiz. Okay, he is working on his geography independently while I'm in the kitchen working on something. He does his reading and filling out his map book. Okay, we are back downstairs working on our grammar, and I have a sentence written out for him. The teacher's book pretty much is scripted. It gives me everything to say. We have this pretty much down with question-answer flow, so he can work pretty quickly at a sentence. Okay, it is a Monday. We are just going to do this one sentence today, and we just have gone over last week the helping verb list, so that is added into this. So it's a lot of review, and then we will add more tomorrow and the rest of the week. We are in history now, and we have the independent study, which was to draw something out of this book, which is the lighthouse at Alexandria, which he has done. He's getting ready to glue it in his notebook. So what does that look like? Okay, and I just usually let them draw it on a sheet of paper, and it's easier than drawing in the notebook. So that for today was the independent study. It's really just to finish that because we are on day 3. And sort of starting at the beginning of the week, so that makes it a little bit odd, but then he can color it if he wants. I don't really make him if he doesn't want to. So all right, now we're going to move on to our reading about history, which will be ancient Rome, and then we have story time, which is a new book, which is from Cleopatra. I'll show you that book too. And we have not been working on the history project, and he's already done the Bible quiet time. All right, so. Okay, history reading is to be independent. He actually just read about the first page and a half, and I finished it up for him, but we found this map in the book of Cleopatra, and it was working out great for the reading today. The books of ancient Greece and Rome, the first chapter really discusses the geography, so finding this map was really helpful. He was reading and then checking it out on the map. Okay, while I finished up the reading of ancient Rome, he went ahead and did the timeline. There is a timeline every week. It's usually the 3rd day. So he worked on that, had the map close in case more geography questions came up. We then moved on to the reading of Cleopatra, and I just let him draw on the whiteboard. Okay, so while he read like the first page or two, and I will tell you in this ancient book of Greece and Rome, like the first chapter is really just a geography description. And my 10th grader now actually remembered that part of it, and he said that was not his favorite. But with the Greece book, which we have finished, we are on Rome now. Once you get past that, it's much more interesting. And what helped, I think, with this is I had already pulled this book out and looked at what I had to read, and they had this map in here. So he was sort of reading it, and then he would look at the map, or I would read and he would look at the map as they were describing things. And then even it was talking about Venice, and we actually looked up a YouTube video to give him a better idea, and it was actually pretty good. I might even link it below because it was for kids. So just wanted to share that about these books. They might start off a little bit rough, but they really are good, and we enjoyed the Greece one and the history of it, and excited to see what happens with Rome and this book about Cleopatra. So that is what we are starting on, and while I was reading, he started, I finished, and he was doing his timeline. So we are on the 3rd day, so he's already done the copy work. Tomorrow he'll do a narration, timeline, some maps he is supposed to look at, and he had a project from the Draw Right Now book. So that is it. We looked at the science. We're actually not keeping up with the science right now. We will once it gets into the anatomy part of it, but these books have just not been something he's that interested in. I did, out of curiosity, because it was today it was talking about roots and where they get their food, how plants store food. We actually just pulled up a YouTube video to check that out, and that was pretty interesting. So, but we are doing something else a little bit for these few weeks that we are not finishing up with this book before we get into what Heart of Dakota has for anatomy, and I will share that in another video because he's doing it with his brother. So, all right, I think that has covered everything for day one. This is Monday.
Okay, it is Tuesday, and my son has already done his Bible reading. He's went over his scripture memory. He will be working on his geography, and then we're probably going to get into math and spelling and some grammar, and he's probably going to go outside because today is even warmer and more sunnier than it was yesterday. So I do want to mention about his spelling, just in case there was any questions. He is using the IEW, which is on CDs, or I think they also have it where you can listen to it online, and they go through it with you. It's very independent. I don't know, several weeks ago, he said, "Mom, can you just do it today?" And I did, and then he's like, "Mom, it's easier if you do it." And it really only took us about 10 minutes between going over the new words and, testing and then reading the words back to him. So it's really no big deal for me right now. If he does level B, I may go back to the recording for next year. So, but I will let you know what we decide on all that. But I just wanted to let you know that it can be very independent. You don't have to do that. I'm just able to at this moment, and it really only took like 10 minutes. So, all right, I'm going to do my best to share with you some of the things that we're doing today on Tuesday. I appreciate him being willing to help me with this video, and I told him if we do a good job, then he could have Friday off. So he's excited about that. And we usually do have Friday off. Sometimes we do the basic core curriculum like math or spelling or something like that. So, all right, wanted to share that with you, and let's turn the camera around and see what we're working on.
Okay, he's working on his math now. I'm looking at what we have for today in his history. I am going to mention he did do his Bible reading and a memory verse this morning. I did not film that. We are working on his history read. He's going to read some of it. Then I will also read some for him. And then there is some question answers that we work on to do the narration. And I just write that on the whiteboard as we discuss it, and he gives me some info, and then he will copy it into his notebook. Okay, I just wanted to show you his artwork on the whiteboard when I'm reading. I did read Cleopatra, and then he went upstairs and worked on some of his geography, and then he worked on his spelling, and we did that together again, and he is just checking his words. We actually moved on to a different list, and then we work on grammar. Okay, he's got his sentence. I'll probably have him do one more like this. We're working on our helping verbs. So, and that changes the tense of the verb itself. So, and he'll probably do another one, but just wanted to give you an idea. And this is actually mentioned to do in Shurley English, the program. Okay, he actually likes doing this a little bit better because he likes writing your own sentences, don't you, Marshall? So I'm actually going to stop right here. Video's getting a little bit long, but I wanted to show you some of my fifth graders' workloads. That is a couple days worth. And I want to say that it's probably going to be 2.5 to 3 hours, give or take. And one thing I did not include was science, because right now what he's doing is something with his brother, and I'll mention that in a future video. But we will come back to the Heart of Dakota science, which will be more of an anatomy, medicine study, and I think he'll enjoy that. So that was not even really added in. So probably definitely around 3 hours of actual schoolwork. And keep in mind, he loves to read, and sometimes he will even write on his own. He does a lot of audiobooks. He was outside for
2 hours today. So because of the beautiful weather, now we have had a wet, cold January. So we were very thankful for that. And I was like, enjoy the day. So I know it will get cold again. But I wanted to give you just an overview, an idea. If you have any questions about any of the curriculum, let me know. I will link videos. I think I've done a video on all of the different curriculums I've mentioned. I will link those below. And if this video was helpful in any way, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed, it would encourage me so much if you did. And I will be doing more videos, more updates, more curriculum look-throughs. Definitely give you an update on my high schooler soon. So I appreciate you all watching, and we will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.